Here's your daily market review for Thursday, May 9th, 2024. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka The Trading Agent, and this is your daily market review for Thursday, May 9th, 2024. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. Interesting market action as we get into what to me is going to be a very important week next week with the OPEX, CPI, more data. It's been a light day. It's interesting to see the reactions to earnings. Then the market still have that buyback floaty feel to it. And again, squeeze right to the top of the ranges, which again, in a probability-based game, you always have to be cognizant of the upside, downside, potential action as we talk about. It's interesting because I have to say, again, impressive pop. Can't discount it for what it is. I mean, it is, in my opinion, doing what it's doing. Take the most amount of money from the most amount of people. Again, as the economic data weakens, jobless claims increased today dramatically. I am surprised by the reaction, but I'm also not because, again, sometimes bad news leads to up markets. Good news leads to down markets. I mean, it's one of those things where there's not an easy answer all the time. But again, we do know what's coming economically. So just be careful out there. If you're bullish, raise your stops. If you're bearish, define your risk and just have stops either way. So if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room. Appreciate it. All the love. Again, the goal of this channel is to make money, turn profits into passive income and properties. If you have any questions about such, do not hesitate to reach out. Follow on the Twitter, posting a ton of stuff. If you want to chat, use the Calendly link, hit me up. Check out the website, doing a few little updates. If you're also oh, that's big. That's cool. And then also making sure all the Twitter posts are on there. So it's cool. I mean, it's worth checking out if you want to get a little bit of everything because it'll have all the things that we're posting now. Getting that finally updated correctly for everybody. So I appreciate it. Again, hit the like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out the educational videos that are on my website or YouTube. All right, let's jump into it. We know the next rate cut, whatever people are excited about. It's like, it's not happening. Not at the next meeting. Not at the July meeting. More than likely September or November. And again, the likelihood of it all increasing is what? If the economy slows down dramatically. I'm telling you, the feds are stuck. I mean, Pace Morby, who's a pretty smart guy when it comes to the markets, was talking about this other day. And he was like, man, I wouldn't be surprised to see 9% interest rates because the feds are stuck. I'm like, that would be interesting. Bitcoin, chopping, lower lows, lower highs. But we talked about holding 61,000. Compressing up against the trend line. Keep an eye on it. Oil, near term, we talked about, it was a little oversold. Let me zoom in that. It's a little oversold. Not surprised it's getting that balance. Keep an eye on it. Natural gas, I would be taking some profits here. And especially in the KOLD, UNG, some of these products that decay, take advantage of such, right? Near term. Now I'm saying I would love to see a retest. No guarantee, but here again, it's a trading channel. Invest to make money, trade, do the right things, manage your positions, trade around them. Dollar popped and then gave it all back on the jobs data. TLT, not surprised it rallied when the jobs data came out, or the unemployment claims. Here you go. Opens low, closes high. VIX, I mean, I'm impressed that they've got this thing to the beat down that they have. Range lows. VIX is definitely holding high, like not high and tight, but it's holding tight in this range. Keep it on it. SPY, talked about this 520 area potentially, maybe. Max side, max upside. Thought this might be a pivot point. Again, this is what thing is about trading. Is like if anyone's selling you uncertainty and like they're never wrong, you need to run away. But look at the volume. It's just dying. So keep an eye on it. It's stretching out. Think of like a rubber band being stretched. QQQQQ, same thing, up against the range highs. IWM, we talked about like this low 200s. Here you go, retesting and filling the gap. Dia, this one has been selling a little more. Nice pop. Let me expand this out because again, you see the top of this candle right here? That is important. Again, high volume highs and big candle tops and bottoms love to retest. That's just the nature of the beast. Gold, liking the dust down here. Again, back to the 20-day, back into our zone. A lot of people going, oh, well, here we go. All right, we'll keep an eye. And again, if you want to do this stuff and go long, go right ahead. I would love it when the feds pivot after they dump. And again, throw the baby out of the bathwater. Nice rallies in this stuff. You got to give credit where credit's due. Silver, nice little gap up back into the range. Sorry, I don't. For some reason, sometimes it doesn't always save. Oops. There you go. Keep an eye on that. GDX again. I like the dust down here in the mid to low sevens. We talked about it. I mean, I don't mind taking stabs at it. Okay. Some people are like, well, it's breaking out. Okay. I mean, once we get over this 35.61, that's when I'll consider it a breakout. I don't mind taking losses. Again, taking losses, trying to minimize losses is part of trading. You're not going to hit every trade and it's going to work. I think this is the thing in a probability-based game. Being a good loser, pretty standard. People who just think that they're always going to win in trading, looking for that magic bullet. Good luck with that. AEM holding up pretty darn well. Is that a breakout? AG, little catch up today, right? Catch up. Okay, man, those wicks at the end of the day are a little violent. Newmont, okay, can we get back into the 40s? Absolutely. Again, if it's about to break out, good. Congrats. I mean, again, trading is kind of one of those things where you don't have this like mindset of you're gonna win all the time. It's like going and playing blackjack, and you play the odds, and the points get in your favor. You bet a little harder, and then you know if you're losing, you walk away. I mean, that's trading, y'all. And again, I like the dust down here. I mean, it makes sense. Because again, I mean, not to say that we're necessarily going to 14, but if this thing goes from 7s to 10, 11, you're not going to be crying, are you? Taiwan semi again. Semi's not holding up so hot, right? Chopping around. A little doge action, doji. Little candle. Micron. Chop, chop. Lower highs, maybe. I don't know. Gets tested up this high. Again, we talk about big candle, tops and bottoms. Look at it. There's an example. AM Dizzle. This thing has been just a dog. Lagging. 20-day, keep an eye on that 20-day. NVIDIA, I mean, again, we like the short the 920s. Makes sense to me. And again, we know the big dogs are selling. It's just they're not going to advertise that until they're ready to pull it down. I don't know if it'll pull down before earnings next week, but it looks interesting to me. SMCI, I know some people took the short at 20-day. So far, so good. Intellectual property, we talked about this thing being oversold, just absolutely beaten. Okay, just keep an eye on it down here. SMH, meh, into resistance. Chop, chop, fizz, Adobe. Sorry, Apple's next. We talked about this like an oversold rally, but then it just gives it all back. 20 days key. If it starts curling up and holding, that would make me bullish on it. And if it doesn't, be careful. The Apple closed at the highs. I'm telling you, I like the retest for a short. I don't want to chase this down action. Right? Some sort of chop. I mean, from 184s, 85 to 186. I mean, that's it with a tight stop. Amazon, I think it's making new highs. Yeah, made a new high. But that wick, yeah, it's like no follow through. I mean, it popped, hit that during lunch, and then just Meta. I like the short here. Told you, like, don't rush into it, but this is the zone, the 20-day. Keep an eye on it. CRM, what did it gap down? Rally back 20-day. Guggenheim fills the gap, right? Chopping around. Not much to say there. Mr. Softy, I mean, it can't get over 415, but it's not really also staying below the 400 level. NDAQ got slapped around on Friday or yesterday. All right, chop, chop. MicroStrategy. Again, if Bitcoin breaks out, or not breaks the downtrend, this should go back to 1400 quick. Keep an eye on it. Netflix seems to be stuck up here, right? Like, I mean, look at this. You have a long wick, you gap up and hammer all day. Market closes at the high of the day, but this doesn't. Look at a good old Roblox. Ooh. Gaps down, channel low, big volume. Keep an eye on it because it might that's a big move. It's a big move. That might have some counter move in it. You could play up if you really wanted to. Pan W. Thank God we didn't chase the breakout. Didn't confirm. Now it's coming back. Again, long term, we like this. Tesla. I mean, the value in Tesla. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I personally have just. I mean, stayed away. We said since basically 2021, November 2020, just dead money. I don't trust it. DKNG, we talked about this 45 area being crucial. Airbnb, well, are you surprised? Again, we talked about real estate being weak, the business model. Man, now you break the trend again. Let's see what happens here. It's not strong. Costco, speaking of strong, Costco, wow. Bulk buying, gap fill, double top, retesting, or about to break out. Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, you can watch the areas and then you can act accordingly. Starbucks, we talk about this thing getting destroyed and being probably due to bounce, right? It goes from 108 down to 72, whatever the hell it is. We talked about this maybe being a secure low, near term chopping around. You made a trap low, came back above it. If I had to guess, I see some, like, I see a down channel. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like the best way to draw it. Might be like this. Maybe we could rally back up to that 82. I don't know. I mean, again, we talked about this. Like, you don't go in one direction all the time. FedEx, speaking of, we talked about hitting the 100, 200 day. Looks like a bounce. Caterpillar. This one's been holding up pretty well. 20 days has been interesting. Can it clear it? Nucor holding the 170 area pretty tightly. Keep an eye on it. X, not really. I don't have much to say. Again, I'm letting that thing just do what it's gonna do. I think it will get bought out. VALE holding the 12s, chopping around. Arrow 21, 22 area. It's got to get over it. Could be about to launch. We'll see. CCJ, not a fan of Goldman upgrading the highs, but I mean, you've got a clear the roof here. The ceiling is the roof. Yeah, no duh. Keep an eye on that. CF got sold on earnings. Chops down, gaps, chopping around. Mosaic, again, we like these names long term. Talked about NTR the other day, and Mosaic due to a little bounce. That's like when you zoom out, you're like, okay, yeah. I mean, there's just big choppy trading ranges, but due to bounce. Where, I mean, again, if you're trading it, let me know. I'm curious. I'll do a little more research into it. AA chopping around. XLF, man, did it close at the high? Oh god, barf. Fills the gap. Volume continues to die on the rally. I mean, this low volume stretch is what it. I mean, that's to define your risk. There's gonna be times where you're just like, you have my tone. You're like, oh, all right, we'll see what happens. JP Morgan fills the gap back up against the range highs. Stanley Morgan, Morgan Stanley. Breakout, but the volume is just not confirming it. This thing has done this before. A lot of games. Just keep an eye on it. Bank of America chopping, holding up at the highs. Goldman Sachs, like again, as we talked about, your Marcus account seems pretty safe based on the Goldman action. KRE, here you go, chopping at resistance. Will it break out or is it a fake out? XBI, look at this, right? Talked about oversold, double bottom, rallies at 100-day. Again, junior names should be leading. Tan chopping around. Again, it doesn't look good. Sedgerton, oops, here's another miss. I mean, remember when we were talking about 300? It was a short on this. Congrats. ENPH. Ugh. I mean, all these names look pretty choppy. I like First Solar short up here. It rallied at the close a little bit. I mean, we talked about how this is a wide and loose son of a biscuit. I mean, you got to be careful, but it makes sense up here. HY Jizzle. You got to be crazy to be buying corporate debt. You got to be absolutely out of your mind. Keep an eye on it. Oil. Talked about it being oversold. Not surprised to get that bounce. Good work, y'all. UNG. I mean, we talked about natural gas. I posted today. Now might be a little time to take. I mean, you can't use on natural gas based on a UNG, but KOLD posted this like I would. I mean, if you shorted this thing in the upper 70s, low 80s, it's a nice trade. I'd be watching this area. XOP. We talked about this leading down, rallying back, watching the 20-day, chop it around, chop around. ExxonMobil. This one's been holding this 116 area last couple days. Tempted to break out to all-time highs, gave it back. Okay, let's keep an eye on it. Again, CVE, like this one long-term, but looks like it's just consolidating. I mean, it's a big move, 14 to 21. Let it chop. Valero, we talked about the gasoline names leading down. Are they getting a little bounce? Looks like it. NPC, same kind of thing, right? Oversold due to bounce maybe. Occidental got smoked down yesterday on a gap down and then chopping, but again, it's clear 63s. I think this is a big range. I've said this a long time. Like Buffett sells calls, Buffett sells puts. It's that simple. EQT should have been up more today, in my opinion, with the gas move. Oil chopping around, but last but not least, Flex LNG. Again, we like this long term. Holding up. I mean, if you would have bought it, I mean, that's the thing. Every stock doesn't always go waterlogged. Oversold gets bought, right? Chop around. Again, that's just the nature of the beast. If you have questions about specific trade action, don't hesitate to reach out. That's what we do. That's what we do is help people. So I appreciate all the love, support, the generous donations. You guys are amazing. Trying to do the best we can. Again, in a market that's choppy, sell in May and go away potentialities, but also too, we've got this like mindset. Again, the narrative is so funny, like never ending bullishness. No matter what's good or bad or what's bad, everything gets revised worse later. Bullish. Okay, we'll see. Because again, the Feds aren't positioned to do anything at this point, and in my opinion, it's going to get worse. And that's the thing that we talk about 6 to 9 month lag time in the effects of what interest rates. They've been moving. So, if you got any questions, again, reach out. Please let me know if you need some help with real estate, buying, selling, investing anywhere in the country. I got you covered. Would love to help. Let me know what I need, or what not what I need, what you need help with. I don't hesitate. Let me know what's up. Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful afternoon.